Matt Ivey here with Atomos, and we're here at CCW 2015. We got some exciting updates for you around the Atomos workflow. So to start off with, what we're showing is a workflow that involves doing a live event. We have a multi-camera shoot here involved with a switcher. So an important part of that is having the Shogun product. Thousands have been shipped. Well, on these cameras, by having a Shogun on here, it allows the operator to have a great monitor, as you know, 1920 by 1200 screen, records directly to ProRes on standard 2.5-inch drives. And by having the Shogun on here as a monitor, it also is a recorder. So now you're doing ISO records at the cameras. We're taking those outputs, which are HD SDI, and in this case, over here we're using an Atomos converter to convert an HDMI camera to HD SDI and then have that come into the switcher. So as we bring that into the switcher, it's all a HD SDI environment. We can take the and switch between the cameras, of course. Those are important to come up on our product that we talked about in the past. It's been introduced, is the Shogun Studio. Here's the exciting part. Like I said, the Shogun Studio is now shipping, and really what it is, it's two Shogun technology engines put into a 3RU space that includes the monitors and then all of the same types of features that are in the Shogun. So that technology includes 4K recording. We also are working with HD. It's got a HD SDI input and output, HDMI input and output, and by having them into this rack mount configuration, it makes it easy for them to rack mount, of course, into an infrastructure. What we have here is the business end of the product, so I want to go over what you get from a connection standpoint. And so that's where I start off with HD SDI in and out. We have HDMI in and out. And some significant parts that have been added to the Shogun Studio from an infrastructure standpoint is being able to have Genlock input as well as longitudinal timecode. That allows us to do a time of day timecode input. So now we can synchronize the products together from a playout standpoint with Genlock, but also when we're in the recording process, we can give them all the same timecode from an LTC input. Further to that, which is really important in the Shogun Studio, is that when we look at the recording side, we have a mode that's called continuous record. Since it's two independent channels, we can have a signal coming into the Shogun channel 1, loop that out to channel 2, and then when this drive is filled up, it will automatically switch over to the other drive inside the Shogun Studio and fill that one up. When that one's filled up, you can put another drive in the one you started with, and that's why it's called continuous record. Another record option in the Shogun Studio is dual record. When you're in dual record mode, you can press the button on the master channel 1, and that will also start the record on channel 2. So we're putting all these features in to round out many of the other features that are in the Shogun technology that include the Waveform Monitor mode is included in there as well. And we have our modes for monitor assist, which has focus peaking, zebra pattern, zoom in so that you can zoom into the picture and look at it closer. All of those things are all built into the Shogun technology that exists now in a convenient rack form type of installation. So, getting back to the other pieces that have been added, we have control now. Now we have external control built into the Shogun Studio. That's in the form of an RS422 connection for each channel. That allows us to hook up to a standard controller, a RS422 controller, so that now what we can do is we can fast forward, we can rewind, and we can all do that from a control surface that is easy for humans to operate and be ready to be on the set. Further to that, we've also added Ethernet control. So there's going to be an Ethernet control web interface. It should be available from application people, along with the AMP protocol, which is used by switcher manufacturers, and that's why we're showing this raw switcher in concert with the product. So we're further integrating the Atomos products into an infrastructure. And then to round out the rear panel, remember there's two channels that are exclusive of each other, so they can be run independently or they can be run together. is a redundant power supply. So now you can have two AC inputs. If one AC input goes away, it'll tell you on the screen the status of the AC inputs as well. So that's a good round out of the Shogun Studio. It's now shipping, and the best thing, really affordable, $34.95. Pretty hard to find a 4K player for $34.95, but in the Shogun Studio, you get two of them, plus the monitors and the playback. So please look into that. You can find us on the interweb under atomos.com.